Hello, everyone. Welcome to the whiskay podcast, episode number 45. Nice round number, well divisible.
Good factors.
Yeah, it's slightly tarnished, but it's still a good number outside of political context. Um, and this one is one we've been looking forward to for a while. We look forward to it every year because it is the WhiskeyMus. It is a very sherry WhiskeyMus box, obviously from the Dram Team, I should have said, but I feel like if you're listening to us, you probably know what we do by now.
Yeah.
And this one's a little bit even more special than the sherry WhiskeyMus box normally is because we've been told by our friend Chris at the Dram Team that we influenced this one.
Yeah.
So we are officially, or we were 4 months ago, given it's now April.
Influencers.
Yeah. So if you own any cafes or anything like that, we'll take free meals.
If you own any distilleries, we'll take free whiskey.
Yeah, do that.
We'll even review it for you.
If you own, like, you manufacture cars, take one of them.
I wouldn't mind, yeah. We would quite like a house in the Speyside region of Scotland.
Yeah, that would be quite nice. It has been tempting.
Just a holiday home.
Yeah, I may have been looking on certain websites at those and been like, could I get away with that?
You would probably need to get a helicopter license.
Just don't come in very often.
Yeah.
Just don't tell them.
Yeah.
So I will read the introduction card. So it says, it's that time of year again. It's not, but it was 4 months ago. Our favourite time of year, when we dive into the wonderful world of whiskey matured or finished in sherry casks. This box is crammed fuller than a festive stocking with perfect warming fireside drams, bursting with Christmassy flavours. A very merry sherry WhiskeyMus to one and all, ho, ho, ho. So 8 months early, 4 months late, whichever way you want to spin it.
Depends when it gets uploaded.
Good point. Yeah. I'm not that far behind. So
I suppose it bears mentioning then that after 2 more of these boxes, we go to bi-monthly, which also could mean fortnightly, but it means every other month in this context.
Yes.
The world's most useless word, bi-monthly. So what, 8 weeks or 2 weeks? Yeah.
Yeah, it's and because like bi-weekly is that because it's fortnightly, but it's
bi-monthly officially has both meanings in the dictionary.
That makes it easy.
Yeah. English.
But not known for its what's the word? How can I not? That's ironic, isn't it? That I can't think of a word to describe what English is. Like when it can be two things, it's not clear, it's not defined, it's
murky.
There's
opaque.
Yeah, you're giving me synonyms.
Opacity.
Apparently, English is known for synonyms as well. It's right. It's going to drive me nuts. Sorry, I've just been slightly distracted by something, but I will introduce us to our first one, our very sherry WhiskeyMus. And it's from a distillery that we're big fans of. It is from Glenmoray.
Yes.
And it is a Glenmoray sherry cask finish Elgin Classic. And the card reads, despite being available in many supermarkets, Glenmoray somehow fly under the radar, producing excellent quality whiskies at remarkably affordable prices. This sherry cask finish dram from their entry-level Elgin Classic range is about a single malt peer at its price point. Wonderfully sippable and warming, this should be a shelf staple throughout the winter months. And I think we've said this before in previous podcasts, but they are very cheap for what they are.
Yeah, I mean, Glenmoray, you pretty much any Glenmoray, more or less across the board, you could get away with saying that they're without a single malt peer at the price point, I would say. They're more or less all about 10. Well, I would say 10 to 20% cheaper than you would expect the whiskey to be at that price point. Meaning that
so if you do a Glenmoray Sherry Cask Elgin Classic, it's 26 quid.
Yeah.
For a sherry whiskey from single malt Scotch, you're talking 40, 35, 40.
Yeah, like the no age statement core range is like regularly purchasable for under £20. Like it's into the,
It's
like,
cheaper than like Bell's and Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
And yet much, much, much better.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you want something that's like a good shelf, well, like I said, a shelf staple, something that you can keep, and if you end up drinking it with mates, then I wouldn't say one night, but probably a bad idea. But something that you get through quite quickly and you don't worry about because it was 25, 26 quid. Hard to go wrong with any Glenmorangie, to be honest. And there's a lot to choose from. They do a good broad range. So, have you poured yours out? You ready for the nosing?
I am ready.
So you should get sun-dried fruits, toasted cinnamon, and toffee candy. It's a bit.
I'm getting like almost more like. Have you ever had banana crisps?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like those dried ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or banana chips, probably what they're called, because America.
Yeah, like dehydrated banana or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm getting that.
Yeah, there is a bit of banana to it.
Or maybe also, I think we've used these as a tasting note before, but the toffees that come in the metallic coloured wrappers.
Yeah.
And so you get like a mint one, raisin one, there's a banana one. So it's like a banana toffee, and I think that's maybe a better shape for what this smells like to me.
Yeah. Once you said banana, I was kind of seeing what you were getting at, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But there is toffee there.
So I'll let you dive in. On the palate, you should get sweet vanilla oak, dark chocolate, and oriental spice. The finish, mouth-tingling warm spice combines with bittersweet dark chocolate to deliver a long, rich, satisfying finish.
It's quite creamy.
Sounds quite rich and long finish.
Yeah. It's quite creamy. Which I think that adds to the chocolatiness in the flavours.
There's a little bit of bittery chocolate there. It's quite light. Oh, I can feel the finish kicking in now. Yeah. It's quite light. It's not like hugely sherried, if you know what I mean. There's definitely sherry influences, but it's not like a sherry bomb.
Yeah.
It's definitely sherried. Like, that's not a bourbon cask, you can tell, but
yeah, it's not like a sherry bomb.
No. I don't think he's trying to be fair.
Mm-mm. I mean, it's a finish, isn't it? So sherry bombs are usually like, we have been in a sherry cask for 10 years.
There's almost like a shortbreadiness.
Maybe a little bit of a
vanilla-iness. Vanilla-y biscuity.
Mm-hmm. It's like different. It's like not. It's not the archetypical very sherry whiskey miss whiskey.
Oh.
That's not a problem. It's still very nice.
It is. The price point is ridiculous.
It's got the dark chocolate. I'm not particularly getting chocolatiness from it, but it's creamy, sweet, and a little bit bitter.
There is a bit of bitterness, but I don't know if I'd say chocolate, yeah.
I can understand how someone's palate could combine sweet and bitter and creamy and get chocolate.
I just don't have that cocoa-ness to it.
No, but that's what's missing for me. So like it's almost like if you were to describe dark chocolate to an AI, right?
It's almost like,
and
like when you get super dark cooking chocolate, like 80-90%.
Yeah.
It's almost like that, when even though the cocoa solids are massive, you don't actually taste the cocoa anymore. You just taste the bitterness. It's kind of like that.
But it's like muted down, so the bitterness isn't as big a punch. I don't know. It's weird, but not in a. It's odd, I suppose.
ChatGPT chocolate.
Yeah. So that's what we're saying is, it's basically like if you explain what dark chocolate tastes like to an AI, and you're like, oh, it's creamy and it's bitter, but it's still sweet, and it just give you this, and then you'd be like, no, where's the chocolatiness? And it'd be like, we didn't say it was chocolatey.
I imagine this must be like if you took all the sugar out of American chocolate, because they don't put cocoa in their chocolate, do they?
Very little, I think, but yeah.
Just sugar, like in everything else.
Sugar and fat.
Sugar, fat, and guns.
Actually, they're quite good. They like to strip the fat out and call it diet when it's got 5 million calories of.
It comes in a bucket.
Yeah. Well, it's fat free, but it's got just all carbs.
7 pounds of sugar.
Yeah.
Do you want to give this one a score?
I'd like to give this 3.5. I think.
I think a 3.5 is a solid. I agree with that, and that for
26 pounds.
26 quid is ridiculous.
I do think that would pair well with chocolate.
I mean, I think most things pair well with chocolate. But
but if you had like a ganache dessert and that on the side, it would go well.
I didn't have an Easter egg. That was good.
Oh, that's a mistake. I've put on like 2 kilos this weekend.
I had
mostly water weight.
But not last week. Week before, I had like cake every day.
Oh yeah. I forgot you told me that. Yeah.
So I'm like, right, I best, maybe don't have an Easter egg. Sorry, Jesus.
Just got a hot cross bun or something instead.
I don't like hot cross buns.
Kind of pointless, but
I did resist a cinnamon bun in Marks and Sparks. They had them, and if I'd have been able to identify where the bags were to put one in, I'd have probably got it. But I couldn't see any bags, and I couldn't be bothered faffing.
We were out for lunch today with my partner's sister and her fiance, and basically, I had a burger. It was brilliant. But anyway, there was an option for dessert. I didn't take it. I had a beer instead. But one of the options was essentially a fried cinnamon bun with an ice cream sandwich.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah. I had a bit. It was good.
Yeah, that does sound amazing. Like one of those things you can feel your arteries hardening, but at the same time.
Yeah, you're like, well, I mean,
it's worth it.
You only live once, maybe slightly less time now.
Bury me now, I'm having it.
Yeah.
Speaking of,
should
we keep damaging his livers?
Yeah, probably. On to whiskey number 2. So
Indeed.
This is the Lockley, or do we say it was Lockley?
Lockley.
Yeah.
L-I. Like Robin.
Oh, Lockley. Okay. Fallow edition. So what it says here on the card is we've managed to secure every single one of Lockley's very limited edition, limited allocation only releases so far, and we're very happy to find out that their latest such release happens to be matured solely in 100% ex Oloroso sherry box. Perfect for this box. This bottling reflects the season of autumn on the Lockley farm when the fields are left fallow to rest. That felt like a not sentence to me, but yeah, no. When the fields are left fallow to rest after a busy harvest, ready for the cycle to begin again when the time is right.
We've had the Lockley first release, sowing edition first crop, our barley, harvest edition first crop, and now we've got the fallow edition.
Okay, so they're going through the whole year then, yeah.
Fallow, I guess that's probably it, isn't it? Sowing, harvesting, and then the fields are fallow. I mean, I know there's more in there, but those are the major steps.
I guess
fertilizer edition doesn't sound as good.
Yeah, tilling.
Yeah, ploughing. Yeah.
But yeah, are you ready for some nosy notes? This is very dark.
I was about to say this is very, very rhabdo.
Yeah. If I had my poster up, I would be able to give you a thing. I would say this looks a lot like
even like held up
black
to the light.
Tea.
Oh yeah, I like that. Yeah, that's very good. Yeah.
Well steeped.
Well steeped tea. Yes. What should we be smelling then?
Ripe red fruits and freshly baked banana loaf. So maybe I was just,
it's got a lot of that baked goods. Lovely
precognition in my nose on the last one.
Yeah.
Oh no, it is it is bready. It is a bit maybe
It's like
banana
a sweet
bready.
bready.
Yeah, fruit loaf or something like that.
Yeah. So a lot of baked goods on that.
Bun, as they have in Jamaica, which is just a heavy loaf. I was learning about that on the old Saturday kitchen.
Cool.
Because I'm, one of those people now who gets up in the morning on the weekend and turns on the TV in the background whilst he makes breakfast and watches people make food and drink wine.
I absolutely do not get up in the mornings on the weekend. Well, I mean, technically the morning, but it's like, what did I get up at today? Like 11?
I've managed to get my sleep schedule into a position where it's now a problem when I try to stay up late.
Now I'm in the office tomorrow as well.
Because my body will just wake up at like 8 tomorrow, so I'll be fine. But the problem is that my body will wake up at 8 if I stay up till 3.
I'm just going to do a casual 5-hour shift and wake up timing.
Yeah.
How could that be?
Just wake up at 11 and start work. I've been on all day. What are you talking about?
Well, yeah, apart from I'm inducted someone into.
Oh, yeah. Are you in office?
Yeah.
Oh.
I know.
Okay,
so it's a perfect time to be drinking whiskies.
You should probably be in bed now.
That's great.
Yeah. Okay, onto the palate.
Yeah.
Since we've got to get a shift on because you should be in bed. But yeah. Dried fruit, leathery notes, and malt biscuits, which are followed with a finish that's medium length with hints of aniseed and Moorish floral rose petals.
That is malty, and I really like the aniseed and rose petal notes in the finish. I think that is really true. It's loads of dried fruit.
Mm.
It is quite.
Oh, it does have that kind of aniseedy licoriciness to it.
And then that kind of like rose water kind of flavour at the end.
Yeah.
Turkish delight kind of.
It's very good.
That is very good. So I'm going to put dried fruits.
Do you ever worry that we just think that even bad whiskey's good now because we're so indoctrinated?
Maybe that's what we ought to do. Maybe we ought to pick out our worst rated whiskies
and go back to
or pick out like 5 that you can get in the supermarket, like Bell's, Jack Daniels, like the ones that we crap on.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we have a Bell's, we're like, oh, this is a 4. This is like, oh no.
I think we should get someone else to do it at some point when we're both going to be around.
In what way? Get them to taste it.
Them to go to the bar or go buy them and then give them to us without us knowing what they are, and we have to rate them and see what we do.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I did have a Jameson's.
I like a Jameson's, to be fair.
Well, yeah, it was okay, but it was like a 2.5/3.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it is what it is. A cocktail whiskey anyway, really. But
yeah, it was a bit chemically. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Does better with a big dollop of the old sugar water in it and some bitters. It's not a Teeling though, but I mean it's a lot cheaper than a Teeling, so.
Yeah, true. I mean, still not as good as that old fashioned we had in Bristol that time.
Yeah.
I would say the old fashions we had in Glasgow, but they ruined me. So
you can't remember, yeah.
I mean, no, I remember them tasting nice, but I hate them because it took me out.
Well, next time you're at mine, but we're not getting on a ferry at ridiculous or driving to a ferry at ridiculous o'clock in the morning. I'll make you to be fair, could make you an espresso, a whiskey espresso martini for the road. But
I'm up for doing road whiskies.
Yeah, don't know how much our driver will be, but
that'd be a bit annoying for him, I imagine.
Yeah.
But yeah, we could. I'm up for that. I mean, it's the next day that worries me.
Yeah.
7 a.m. ferry.
Yeah, but that's fine.
Yeah, we have that.
That's not the next day after the first day, but yeah.
No, true. We just got to make sure we all get in bed early.
Yeah, well, early enough. If someone comes around rattling pots and pans to wake us all up, that'll be fine.
Well, there's only one person really who's got a chance of being lost.
Yeah.
There's two of us. The rest of us are sharing rooms.
Yeah.
If he turns up,
Yeah.
isn't there in the morning, he's on his own. We'll build a ramp.
Yeah.
That'd be all right.
All right. I've still got half of this to go. I'm too busy.
It's I've put dried fruits, a light maltiness with aniseed developing, and then rose flavors to finish. One thing. When we're in Islay, just not to give it away to everybody, but we are planning an Islay trip.
Yeah, this will be. It's not like we have to worry about people showing up and try to gate crash. Even if we had a following at the level that'd be a problem. This will go up after we've been, I assume.
Yes. So we've been to Islay. It was really good. I don't know if we were going to record anything while we're there. Given
we have a lot of other people with us, it might be a bit rude.
But can we? Maybe not when we're in distilleries. But if we're drinking at any point where we're not in distilleries, can we put on it's like walking through an orchard on
do that with our
early September day. The leaves are starting to fall. And,
yeah. I can definitely get that sort of nonsense out.
Yeah. An old 1970s Citroen has just turned off its engine 2 roads down.
Yeah. There's a misfire on the third cylinder.
And then they're like, how can you tell it's the third cylinder? And then you're just like, what are you talking about? How can you not tell? If you think it's the first cylinder, get a load of this guy who thinks it's the first cylinder.
Did you not check the legs?
Hey, everybody, this guy thinks it's the first cylinder.
Rob will be like, oh, it tastes like whiskey.
Yeah. Well, he'll be doing that on purpose just to upset us.
Yeah, no.
But
this is a friend of ours who once showed us that he had purchased some top quality whiskey, which said, what was it? It said
aged oak barrels for 3
Scotch
years.
whiskey aged in the oak barrels for 3 years.
Like the legal minimum.
Yeah. It was like Tesco Select or not Select.
Yeah, Select. Yeah, it wasn't even. Yeah. It would be the worst. But
as the basics or something.
Trying to
like
market it as the premium one.
Yeah.
He's not. I mean, the full. Jokes on him because I'm just going to be in an increasingly bad mood through that trip as we're heading to where we're heading. So.
Yeah.
No,
he's gonna meet you on your best day.
Yeah.
Because we're going to Campbelltown.
Yeah, we're going to go do Glen Scotia. I'll be happy. He'll meet me just as I'm at my happiest because we'll have just done Glen Scotia.
Yeah.
And then others could be okay. And then Boona I'm all right with.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then downhill from there. Right. We've prattled on again. You want to give this one a score?
I would give that one a 4, I think.
A score for that one. I'll through some. Let's get the old liver destroyed. So it's back to a name. Well, a couple of names, I suppose, that we're quite familiar with now. So it is a scallywag, which, if you know anything about the previous ones, is a Douglas line range, brand, line, whatever you want to call it. And this is the Scallywag Winter Edition. So we've had the chocolate edition, and we've had one other. Can't remember what the other one was. So it says, this limited edition seasonal release of Douglas Lang's Speyside blended malt is bottled to very robust cask strength, it's 54%, and consists of 100% sherry cask matured whiskies. Designed to be the perfect winter warmer, the full-size bottle even comes with its very own miniature festive woolen scarf. Fair enough.
To be fair, if you look at the bottle, it's a wee picture of a Scotty dog, like a West Highland Terrier.
All the Scallywag ones are, yeah.
Yeah, but he's got he does have a
red and green scarf.
Red and green scarf, and then the bottle has one round the neck.
Very good. So on the nose, anticipate the sweet scent of candied cherries and dark chocolate.
I'm anticipating it. When can I
you smell the anticipation? Like, you don't smell candied cherries and dark chocolate. You smell the anticipation of
It does smell like dark chocolate, like a lot.
It does. Yeah, fair enough.
But that's what my oat was about. But yeah, maybe if I now sit here and anticipate the sweet scent of candied cherries, that'll happen. That still mostly smells like chocolate.
Right, so
maybe like a Black Forest Gateau. We'll give them that.
Yeah, cherries and chocolate. Yeah. On the palate, reveals an array of spectacular spices, including cinnamon, nutmeg, and ginger. The finish, they've got arts here, lingers like the cold air outside. Moorish notes of spiced oak and freshly baked fruitcake soaked in sherry.
That does. It's quite spicy.
Quite spicy.
Yeah, like it. Anyway, here's a wee pre-joke for everyone. You'd have thought that the spice would be in the next one. But yeah, you'll work that out in 5-10 minutes when we get to it.
Dealing in stereotypes now, are we? Is that it?
Oh, cuisines, but yeah.
Yeah. It is quite spicy, but it is like the festive spices, isn't it? It's ginger, nutmeg, and cinnamon.
Yeah. Make a good dessert with those spices.
Yeah.
Or a mulled wine.
I've been a fan of mulled wine.
Me neither. I've had mulled beer as well. It was not good.
I think I've had like spiced beer.
Yeah, mulled beer is warm and it has no gas left in it. It's kind of pointless.
A warm flat beer. Peeling.
With the extra stuff chucked in. Yeah.
This is the most like classically sherried.
But also, it's kind of missing some of the other notes that you would normally get. The fruitcake doesn't come through so much because of the spice.
There's no sweetness to this one.
That's what I'm basically getting at.
It's deep and wide, but no sweetness.
To be fair, coming in at cast strength,
handles its 54% very well.
But it might be that is making the spiciness ramp up. So I'm going to add a couple of drops.
But you put that on the bottom.
Yeah.
Very
My Penderyn one.
Oh yeah, we got that one for the tour, didn't we?
Yeah.
It was a good tour. That gave a lot of free.
Gave a lot of whiskey.
A lot of whiskey. One was 90%.
Yeah. And a lot of free gifts. I got cards, a glass.
Magnet.
It's one of those wee sort of tulip glasses.
Yeah, fancy ones with a stem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gonna get a lot of glasses out of this visit. Could be up to 10.
If you get one everywhere, yeah.
If we did Ardbeg and Laphroaig and Ardnahoe and Caoleela.
I mean, you can get like 7 off of Isla alone, can't you? 8.
Well, but I mean, we could.
Yeah.
Because we've got Boona and we've got Lager. We could, there is a feasibility that around Boona we could do Caoleela and Ardnahoe. And around, I mean, we've got to do Laphroaig and Ardbeg, at least Laphroaig while we're down at Lagavulin. Yeah. You can't not, really.
I feel like you can't really skip Ardbeg either. I mean, it's those three, that coast is...
It's a defining bit, isn't it?
Yeah. They're the ones that are the character of Isla.
Yeah, so... And then we've got Kilkerran, Springbank and Glen Scotia.
Is there not a fourth now?
There is... There is. It's all out of one building, I think, though. Kilkerran, Springbank, and
it's named after an old one that's shut.
Yeah, I can't remember. But we're doing Glen Scotia, Kilkerran, and Springbank, and then obviously Lacranza or Arran.
Oh yeah, I mean there are 2. It's still both are Arran distillery, but there's 2 distilleries on Arran. But yeah.
Yes, south and north.
Yeah. Lacranza is the established one. Although annoyingly, I've been to both, and annoyingly, they have different merchandise in their shops.
Really?
Yeah, not vastly, but enough.
Well, we're not going to go to both, so.
I guess the point is, I mean, to be fair, depending how long we have, it's not that long a drive. Arran's quite a small island, but
Aim to drive more. Aim to drive is more.
Yeah, that's the one thing that's an issue, but yeah.
Well,
I'll get him some cheese from out.
The difficult thing is he'd say yes.
Yeah.
That's the difficult thing. It's like if he was the kind of person who'd be like, actually, I don't feel it, lads. That'd be a lot better.
That's why I'm saying it. If he wants, he
can
pick me up and I'll drive from my house to the ferry. Like, I don't mind.
Yeah.
But
did you want to score that one? Sorry, I know we've gone quite quick on that one, but
I just having my last sip. I've put some water in it. It has opened it up a little bit, but I don't think it's given it any more flavours that I was not catching. I'm just going to go back in for the last go and see if I can find anything.
Yep, have expedition and excavator. I still can't think of the word I was thinking of.
If anything, Adam, what is it? Incomprehensible.
No, it's when something can be interpreted in lots of different ways. Really.
Enigmatic.
No. I feel like it begins with a C.
If anything, adding water to that made it more estery, and the alcohol had more of a burn, which, seems wild, but
ambiguous. There we go. I know it didn't start with a C, but
yeah, no, that makes sense. I get what you mean. Yeah,
for some reason, ambiguous. Right. So the water didn't improve it.
I don't think so. It might. This is gonna probably, for some people, this is gonna be controversial, but I find that it really does. It's very uncommon. Sometimes you get like a whole world of difference. There was one whiskey we had where we added the water, and it was like, boom, this is like a completely different whiskey. But for the most part, it's
rare, and it makes them flat.
Yeah, it takes a lot of the flavors away, I find.
Yeah.
And I think so. I think if you have a strong whiskey that has got a heavily alcoholic flavor already, it can damp that down. But if it's handling it well, and you put the water in, I feel it tends to strip some of the oil out and just make it really
makes it flat.
Well, it makes the alcohol burn through more a bit.
Yeah, if that's how you prefer it, you have it that way.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Judging without the water is where I'll be coming from, and I would give that a 4 as well.
I would go 4 as well. Happy days. We've got a good box. Mine, we always have a good box when it's the Christmas box.
Now, I wasn't being stereotypical. I was
sorry. It was a cheap shot.
Referring to the cuisine of the country, which has been very much adopted, especially in the part of the world where you're from. But equally, in the part of the world where I live, they invented a new curry by combining two. Our next whiskey is from India.
Yeah, curry is pretty consistently England's number one takeaway.
Yeah, and especially in the north. Chinese, I think, generally beats it in Scotland, but I think actually, to be fair, in the central belt of Scotland, we've become gentrified enough. Oh yeah, we've become. It's hard to deep fry Chinese, but
I feel like it's easier. But if you were doing deep fried rice, would you do each grain separately?
I think egg fried rice is not quite deep fried, but the amount of oil to the amount of rice is close.
And I mean, there is deep fried stuff in there.
There's a lot of deep fried stuff in good Chinese food.
Yeah, like crab claws.
Or salt and chili chicken, or crispy shredded anything, or lemon chicken, or orange chicken.
Quite a lot of dumplings.
Yeah, but yeah.
I
mean, the way that they make a crispy duck to be able to do it quick enough is they just the traditional way is not this. You use you roast it and you keep basting it and you keep basting it with the duck fat. The way that they make it quickly in a Chinese takeaway is to deep fry the legs.
Yeah.
So that is essentially deep fried duck.
Yeah. It's still great though.
Yeah.
And then people are like, oh, MSG. It's like MSG is
salt.
Bad for you.
It's just salt.
It's
better salt.
Yeah, it's the same as anything else. If you have too much of it, it's bad for you. But
it's got loads of sodium in it, so has salt.
Yeah, it's not a uniquely bad ingredient for you.
Yeah.
Just be smart about what you eat and don't have it every day.
Yeah. And I don't know. Yeah, I was going to go on a big diversion, but we don't.
Offers soapbox.
Yeah, we're into
whiskey cask.
Not Paul John.
You like that, by the way? That was good.
Yeah.
Soapbox to whiskey cask.
So it's not Paul John. It's not Amrut. This is a new one for us. This is Indri. This, and the whiskey is called Trini, and then in brackets, the 3 wood. So, joining a very well-regarded cohort of quality single malt producers from India, the newcomer Indri's Trini 3 wood uses a combination of Pedro Jimenez sherry, ex-bourbon, and ex-wine casks to deliver a wonderfully rounded and flavoursome whiskey that has been widely recognised with a series of high-profile awards. So I'm looking forward to this because they've just chucked it in everything. I mean, they don't get long.
Say they're new. They make 4 million litres a year.
I mean, to be fair, from what I hear about the Angels share in India, that probably translates to about 80 bottles. But that's obviously an exaggeration. But what I was getting at with the to have it in 3 different types of casks is quite often whiskey in India gets 3 years because they've lost, like, to get it to the and it's 46% as well. They haven't let it drop to 40 because, like, to maintain a whiskey at that concentration with the heat in their climate is very difficult, basically, for longer than 3 years.
Yeah, I'm just reading the website now.
But yeah, if you're ready to give it a sniff whilst you read.
Yes.
This should have, this is a coincidence considering earlier we said one looked like it, but hints of black tea, caramelized pineapple, which kind of reminds me of the Chinese food that we've been ranting on about, and
Fritters.
oak. And then should follow with some vanilla and honey and traces of spiced tannins, topped up with vinous raisin. Is that right? Vinous? Vinous?
Venus, maybe, like wine.
Yeah. And sweet cherry notes.
It's very woody.
Let me get
a lot of wood in that. Maybe a little bit of tea.
I could definitely get the tea, like more like tea leaves though. Or like a.
It's still like a well steeped brew, that, yeah.
Yeah, my brother is quite into like
raisins.
Fancy teas, and he's got this one that's like almost fermented.
Yeah, so it's like the opposite of green tea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because all tea comes from the same plant, unlike coffee.
Yeah, but it comes out. This sort of has a slight smell of the leaves of that, not the flavor. It's wild how like the flavor comes out like quite like almost sweet, but I guess that's because it's halfway towards being fermented. But
yeah, it's all about how long they let it go, basically.
Yeah, how long they take it off they take it off the plant and then.
Yeah, you get the leaves and then you leave them to dry.
The sun, yeah.
And then I think they toast them to stop them.
Yeah.
But like green tea is basically, I mean, it's puddle water. It's crap. And then you've got like blue and yellow, I think, are in there. And then you get to oolong.
Yeah.
And then you get to black tea, which is what we in Britain just call tea.
Yeah.
It's the normal breakfast teas and that. Although obviously oolong is a thing.
Yeah.
And then, if you go a bit further, you get black tea. And I know that from an ASMR video that explains tea types, and it was very good.
That is basically your ideal ASMR video.
Yeah.
If you could do a quick cranial nerve exam. Yeah.
It was one of the increasingly rare ones that wasn't some scantily clad so-and-so.
Oh, yeah. Someone who's taking a wee break from our OF. Or
I mean, fair play. If that's what gets you, fine. I'm not.
The problem here is that it's essentially now a market that is saturated by e-girls, is what you're saying.
It's just, it's a big market, isn't it? It was International ASMR Day.
Was that a thing now?
It was on YouTube when I went on.
All right. Oh, well, yeah, because like 90% of their customers are just on there to listen to people whispering now.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it's probably
either people whispering or watch Toxic Masculinity. That's the two brands of YouTube now.
Yeah. What a sad world we live in. Anyway,
basically, you either have to go on so that you can worship some woman you've never met, or go on so that you can worship some guy who hates all the women that you've never met.
A man with no chin.
Yeah. Well, I mean, managed to do him well. Can't be punched in the chin if you don't have a chin.
Well, doesn't matter how much money you earn, you'll never have a chin.
Yeah. You wouldn't have seen, but you know when I says can't be punched in the chin if you don't have a chin, I did the roll deep.
Yeah, the meme.
Yeah.
I figured he might have. I was there with you in spirit.
Anyway, less about that and more about drinking whiskey. Yeah.
Yeah, this is an anti-misogynist channel.
Yeah. I feel like the fact that you have to say things like that now is kind of wild, but okay. Yeah. On the palate, there should be gentle spice and wood that comes through, then nutty flavors and hints of burnt pineapple, citrus, and raisins. A lot of pineapple going on here.
Actually, like it's like melon to me, actually.
Oh,
but there is tropical fruit notes there.
Oh, did you know on the topic of melon that if you add sugar to cucumber, it tastes like watermelon because they're the same family?
I did not.
But
I don't like raw watermelon, but okay.
Yeah, but on the finish should be subtle and balanced, a smooth and long aftertaste with sweet, fruity flavors lingering long after.
I gotta say, I don't think I've ever had a whiskey that tastes like this. It is very sweet in a fruity way. There's a bit of tropical fruit. It's not overly sweet, but it is. It's sweet.
Tangy.
Yeah.
Like if you pull it over your tongue, it actually has fruit juice acidity.
Yeah, it's different, isn't it? It's
very different.
Yeah, I'm not sure we've had one like this before.
No, it has an aftertaste of almost fluorescent orange tropical juice that's like £1.50 for a jug at the supermarket.
Yeah.
You get it because it's fruit juice and you're a student and you think you're being healthy, but you actually look at it and it's just sugar. But almost similar to old Sunny Delight Florida, the old version, which was banned in the UK after a while when they worked out that they were basically just selling people cups of sugar, calling it orange juice.
Needy.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
It was good stuff.
Yeah, it has that kind of.
It's lovely. That is. I don't think we've ever had anything that tastes like that whiskey.
Nope. I wonder, is this a part of their core range then? There's no mention of it being a limited edition.
Like £40-ish.
It's not bad. Considering getting it here probably cost about 30 quid of fuel.
It's been reviewed already by a No Nonsense Whiskey. I was going to say our friend, but we don't know who we are.
What, Vin PF?
What's that? Yes, Vin PF. Yeah. Nonsense Whiskey.
This is like when you get an IPA and it says tropical fruits and you're like, okay, so they've used Citra hops or something. And then you actually drink it and you're like, Jesus Christ, this just tastes like fruit juice.
I always think Citra hops is a bit of a warning sign if it's on a beer. Because it's like one of those ones that's like, oh, it's got Citra hops, isn't that amazing? And then generally the beer is like, yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
It's like, there's nothing wrong with putting Citra hops in your beer. Go for it.
Yeah.
But
when you actually, yeah.
If that's all you've got, it's like, oh, it's got Citra hops inside. It doesn't matter if it's a crap beer around it, though, does it?
Yeah.
No, it looks like their car ones, yeah. They've got a lot of awards, to be fair. They've won a lot of.
Well, I'm enjoying it.
Indian Single Malt World Whiskey Awards 2022.
Is that injury in general or this particular whiskey?
I think injury in general.
Because I feel like that's like being the best Campbelltown single malt,
Hey, they won straight up best Scotch single malt.
Who?
Glen Scotia, because it put up the double cask price.
All right. Oh, cause what they won it because they put the price up.
No, the other way around.
Yeah, I was going to say that sounds like that was back to front.
Yeah, they won.
Like, people are overlooking this. How can we make them?
Maybe that's what Glenmorangie need to do.
Yeah,
because there is a thing of that you create expectations. Yeah. If you go in at like, oh, our whiskey's worth 25 quid, people are like, oh, it's probably not too bad. And then you're like, oh yeah, 75 quid a bottle. They're like, oh, that must be pretty premium. That.
The Macallan effect. Yeah. James Bond drinks it.
No, there's no wrong with Macallan.
No,
but
apart from the price, to be fair.
Yeah, it's not worth the price of charge. That is my personal, non-professional view. Is Macallan is overpriced, as is most English whiskey.
It's because they're trying to jump into it very early doors when they.
There's nothing wrong. I like a lot of English whiskies.
It's good.
Really like a lot of English whiskies, but you could get a better Scotch for less.
Yeah, I could be better about it. They make good whiskey in that mostly, but
some do.
Yeah, that's why I said mostly. But like, yeah, like it's just that they're definitely playing on the patriotism of English people.
Yeah, I think some of it may be that they've got to sell it for that price to make.
It's to make money, but also, the only way that they're getting away with it is off the back of people being like, yeah, but it's English
and it's novel.
Yeah,
they're selling on the novelty.
They're selling to people who've drank Scotch their entire lives, basically, and they're saying, yeah, but now it's an English one. Would you rather support English stuff? They tried to vote for independence.
Yeah, good luck.
They didn't even support Brexit.
Yeah, good luck with independence now.
Well,
do you want to score this one, by the way?
I suppose if you want.
Yeah.
Occasionally
we'll talk about whiskies in between.
I was going to give it a pretty good score. So what you were thinking? I'm on like a very high 4.
Oh, you were going 4.5.
I'm not quite to 4.5.
It was different. It was nice.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say it was better than the previous two. That's what I mean. Normal.
Its novelty is what's giving it a couple of extra points to me.
But
not 4.5 points. But yeah.
I would say it's the best Indian whiskey I've had.
I would agree. Which apparently, agrees with the awards, so we should probably just do the awards.
Yeah, just give us the job. We're probably cheaper.
Yeah.
No, I'll revise that. We're definitely cheaper.
Yeah. We'll do it for the whiskey and the travel expenses.
Yeah. You might even remember to take a couple of photos.
Yeah.
Probably not. But...
Yeah.
Right, now speaking of Campbelltown, if we rewind about 15 minutes.
Yeah, from a country with 3 distilleries to a town with 3 a small town.
4 distilleries, or however many. It was the capital of Scotch whisky for a while.
Yeah, because it's real near Ireland.
So this is, as you may have guessed, Glen Scotia. Well, I suppose you had a 25% chance of guessing.
Yeah.
But it is a Glen Scotia seasonal release 2022. We love a Glen Scotia. That's what it says on the card, but we also do. Me more than my co-host.
I mean, I do love a Glen Scotia.
And we are always excited if we can grab one of their seasonal releases for our festive edition. This 2022 edition weighs in at a hefty ABV, 53.3%. And at 12 years old, spent its final year of maturation in Amontillado sherry casks, assumedly behind a brick wall.
Nice little bit of a literary.
This is an educated podcast, This is highbrow stuff.
Lovecraft is a theme in the book that I'm reading just now, but I'll talk to you about that off podcast.
Cask of Amontillado is Poe.
Oh no, he's Poe, yeah.
But I forgive you getting those two mixed up. They're very similar.
They're just a pair of goths. With,
the reason I remember it was Poe. Well, I would remembered it was Poe anyway, but I watched a film recently where.
Also, it's not got enough eldritch horror to be a. It's more psychological horror, which is all about the Poe's all about that. Is he not the one that did the Heart?
Telltale Heart. Yeah.
Telltale Heart and the Raven in that. It's all.
Quoth the Raven, nevermore.
Yeah. So your own.
At my chamber door. Yeah. Well, it was a poet. But yeah, I watched A Pale Blue Eye, which has got Christian Bale in it and a bunch of others. And Edgar Allan Poe is a character in that. It's a good film.
Yeah.
Sorry, so it was spent its final year of maturation in Amontillado sherry casks, and I made the hilarious joke. Glen Scotia's signature coastal Campbelltown style is augmented beautifully by the Amontillado influence. It's probably Amontillado because it's double L's in Spanish, but I speak Yorkshire, so soft. Amontillado influence resulting in a warm, nutty dram.
Amontillado.
Yeah, aye, lad. Resulting in a warm, nutty dram with lingering vanilla notes and a mildly dry. Well, it says mildy, but I'm guessing it means mildly dry finish.
Yeah.
We'll complain to the editor on that.
Yep. If you wanted to,
going to write to the council.
I was going to say, if Chris wants to pay us in free boxes, we'll spell check these for him.
Yeah.
Don't know that it's really worth like 80 quid.
Is it not extortion to broadcast these spelling mistakes and then say if you want us to fix it?
No,
maybe
it's already broadcast it.
It'd be extortion if we.
I think it's extortion if we say, "Oh, there's a spell mistake here," but we won't reveal it. So long as he continues to pay us.
Yeah.
Revealing it first is kind of like the complete opposite of extortion.
We can certainly try it. Chuck him an email, see what he says.
Yeah.
Just remind him not to save it because that's evidence.
Yeah.
So
send him a Snapchat.
Oh, clever. Yeah. Join the WhiskAYE Snapchat. I don't know.
It's a premium Snapchat.
How long does Snapchats last?
No, I think you can set it, but I think the period of the time that it's on the screen, like it does, once you've viewed it, it goes away.
But there was isn't it like 15 seconds or whatever was it?
I think you can make them shorter and longer now. Yeah.
But if it was 15 seconds, how many 15 seconds are there in 3 years?
Quite a lot. 4 times as many minutes as there are.
Yeah. 240 as many hours. So maybe we could do that. A Snapchat of whiskey aging. So on the nose.
Every 15 seconds.
Stop. Let us move on. Go down. This card has taken me 25 minutes to get through. On the nose. Maritime notes of sea spray with sweet honey and caramel.
Oh, it definitely is not a light whiskey, this one. Like in alcohol. I took a deep breath and it was a mistake.
I was going through the tasters that I'd left from the English Whiskey Festival last year, trying to finish them off. And I had one was a new make. And because I'm a genius, I didn't click.
That's white.
Obviously, that's going to be... Yeah. No, I clicked that it was a new make.
Oh.
But didn't click that it was going to be like 60-65%. So I just swigged it and I was like, Jesus Christ, I'm awake now.
For now, give it 5-10 minutes.
It is, there is that kind of
salty,
sea spray, but like salted caramel in there.
Yeah, it's like, what I always think of with the sea spray is if it's been like stormy and you're at the beach, the air does smell salty. Like it's a thing.
Yeah, it's like if you've ever been to an English seaside resort.
Yeah.
At any time. Yes, so I'll let you dive in.
Caramel more than honey on that as well.
Yeah, I didn't get honey, I must admit. So the palate, creamy vanilla and salted caramel are balanced with warming spice notes of cinnamon and nutmeg. Finish, long, a nutty finish with gentle warming cinnamon, spice, and a mildly dry finish. And it's spelled mildly right that time.
It's got a very heavy, like, the finish is like big on that, like, savoury sweetness. Like
that is robust, isn't it?
Salt, dry, like it's very salty, but driving through like a very caramelly flavour.
It is very savoury, but it's robust. I mean, that makes its alcohol known a lot more than the Scallywag did, even though it's slightly weaker.
But also not in a bad,
not in a bad way,
not in a throat burning way.
Just in a That is There's definitely kind of. It is like it's like the sea air.
Mm-hmm.
That's what making me think of sea air. It's not particularly caramelly. I'm not getting much sugariness, sweetness from it. It's very savoury.
It's caramelly before you swallow it. The finish is where the salt comes.
Yeah, okay, I can give you that.
If you hold it and like coat your tongue, so that there's like, I'm trying to describe what I'm doing here, but basically pushing my tongue towards the top of my mouth to get rid of any air and make my entire tongue coated in whiskey.
Yeah.
It becomes very, very caramelly, but then as soon as you like let the air come on, like go over your tongue, whether that be by swallowing or even just releasing the the pressure,
like a officer.
Moving it into the cheek pouch like a wee squirrel.
I wonder how they came up with that for the Dill officer.
What?
Anyway. Oh, it spits in Jurassic Park.
I mean, Jurassic Park's dinosaur anatomy is basically throw a dart at pictures that 5-year-olds drew. But ask Michael Crichton. He was actually just trying to. He's just got a thing against theme parks. So
yeah. Well, a lot of it. The book's not very similar to the film, to be fair.
But Crichton wrote Westworld too.
Did he?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, he doesn't like theme parks, doesn't he?
But yeah.
I went to Oxford one time, and there's a museum. Well, there's probably more than one museum in Oxford, to be honest. But went to a museum in Oxford, and
from what I actually hear, Oxford's kind of rough outside of the university, but yeah.
Yeah, I didn't go much around it, but I went to this museum, and they had like a T-Rex skeleton. It was a cast; it wasn't a real fossil. They had the T-Rex skeleton there, and I've never seen a T-Rex skeleton before, like in the bone.
Yeah.
And,
nice.
Thanks. I was just like there for like 10 minutes, just completely awestruck. It was everything. It was so good.
I'm sure they used to have one at the National Museum, but then now it's part of a traveling exhibition.
I've got to go to Chicago at some point and see Sue, because that's the most complete T-Rex skeleton I've ever found.
Yeah.
But it's just, for a dinosaur nerd, it was just everything to see. So good. I've got to go back. I should go back and see it.
Back in Oxford, or?
Yeah, it's not far.
True.
A little bit closer than Chicago. It's like to get shot as well. Yeah.
I did say that. I heard it's kind of rough.
I suppose as soon as like the blooming boat boys or whatever they are that hang around Oxford University in my accent,
they'll get the
shotgun
out
for sport. Yeah.
That's the
Mater and Pater will get them off if they get arrested.
Yeah, that's the South's version of like Get Out.
Yeah,
Northerners.
well, if it's racism in America, we invented it.
Probably fair, yeah.
Yeah. Came from somewhere. Do you want to score this one?
Yeah. I'm going to give that a 4 as well.
It's another 4. It is another 4.
This is usually the theme of these boxes.
Yeah, they are generally very, very.
I was a couple. The last 2 have been like close for me to getting an elevated score.
If there'd have been a bit more carameliness to that one, I'd have gone 4.5. But it was a bit too savoury to push it that. I mean, he says giving it a 4, but it was a bit too. You've got to get very nitpicky at those levels, haven't you?
Yeah, that's what. This is basically why everything falls generally under a 3 to a 4.5, 3.5, and a 4, because below a 3, we're really diving into the depths of.
Yeah, and that's where maybe we need to come up with like, maybe between us, maybe one of the tastings we could do is our idea of a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5.
Yeah, finding a 1 and a 2 will be not easy, but yeah.
Maybe that's what we should do, though, like 2 podcasts back to back where I say, here's a tasting box of what I think is a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5, and then you do it back.
Yeah.
Then we try and use that to set an objective-ish level.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
we
probably
both know
fair.
what a 0 is. Chris might have some more of it still.
There's only 1.
There's only 1.
You haven't even given a big Pete Beast a 0 yet. So.
Yeah, good point. Maybe in either we can find a new -1.
Anyway, onto the magical.
Are we doing a
sixth
tasting
dram.
or a tar? We're doing a tar, aren't we? Like
I think so, yeah. But there'll be.
you'll have to like hold me back when it gets to. If they've got the kilns there,
Yeah, it's just go and kick one.
you have to hold me back. Yeah. You ever heard of wood? Stop burning dirt. What's wrong with you? Sorry. Yes. Final one.
Yeah. So this is the sixth dram.
You.
Yeah. Me, the man of words.
No, if it was named after you, it'd be in caps.
Yeah. Man of words. This is the Man of Words 2015 All Russell Butt. If you read the actual bottle rather than the card, it says the Man of Words Vintage 2015 Cask 821 All Russell Sherry Butt matured from Annandale Distillery, which gives a bit more intro before we get to the actual card's blurb, which says, historically active from 1836 to 1924, Annandale was resurrected in 2007 by two founders. Don't know if they're founders, if they're resurrecting. It's hard to say, isn't it? Doubt they were alive in 1836, that's for sure.
Maybe they're just really slow Jesuses.
Yeah. Self-described as hopefully sane scientists come business people who used unparalleled scientific rigor to design two unique spirit styles. A panel of sensory experts established optimal flavor profiles, and industry legend Dr. Jim Swan designed a bespoke method to produce them. All single cask releases, this unpeated Man of Words bottling is from an authentic All Russell sherry butt. Incredible stuff.
Nice looking cafe.
Oh, Annandale.
Yeah, sorry.
Is Annandale near the town of Annan?
Generally, one of the big things for me that makes a distillery like top tier is if it's got a good cafe. Because if I'm going to drink whiskey, I want to eat.
Probably should get, yeah.
Yes, it is. It's just north of Annan.
Cool. I was just trying to work out where it should be. So, Lowlands.
High? Oh, yeah, Lowlands is south of. Jesus, it's nearly England.
Yeah. So, on the nose, are they trying to get into our brand new whiskey distillery region? Are they going to be borders?
It's really nearly England, isn't it?
It's Dumfries and Galloway to the max.
Gretna
no, that's Ayrshire. That's Ayrshire. That's okay.
It's just west of Gretna, which is like on the border, isn't it? It is. Like Scotland-England border is from Annandale Distillery.
Oh no, yeah, no, I see what it is now. Yeah,
the Scotland-England border.
Because there's a town called Annandale, and that is in Ayrshire, but no, that's Dumfries and Galloway to the max, which is the borders, and that's the west side of the borders, which is almost as south as Newcastle. Yeah,
it's 20. Well, it is. Yeah, almost as south. It's pretty much on a like par with Newcastle, but it's because the border's not straight east-west. Yeah. It's northwestish, not northeastish. Yeah,
it's next to Lockerbie.
20 miles from the border. I don't know how they decided on that border. It's very
by stabbing a lot of people.
Yeah, yeah. I do like how we've like put the national park just on our side of the border and be like, "Fuck you, you're not having any of this."
Oh yeah, I think it's because when Scotland doesn't have national parks, so.
Yeah, but like if you look at Google Maps, it's like all the dark green to denote the national park literally follows the border.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But
that's all of Scotland's a national park.
I think it's mostly because we have areas of outstanding national beauty.
Yeah, but if you look at Google Maps, you do have national parks because you've got Lomond and the Trossachs.
Yeah, but it's not. They're calling it. It's
yeah,
officially
I mean,
not
on this. Yeah, I know it's not, but on the map, that's what I'm saying.
It's like the border. If you look at how it goes, I think if it mostly follows, there's a line, and then it obviously should cut across to like just above Newcastle.
Yeah, well, quite a ways above Newcastle, but yeah, very good.
At one point, first of all, Dunbartonshire went to Blackpool, but and very very frequently Newcastle has been in Scotland through history. But you'll also notice that Berwick-upon-Tweed there's like a big massive step that puts Berwick-upon-Tweed, and I think there's a castle there that was held just before we drew the border was drawn, and they had to like make a thing. So,
I mean, you came a long way south because Doncaster is still technically Scotland.
Yeah. But yeah, Coldstream was like where there was a Scottish garrison, so they had to draw the line under there, and then like what I mean, like the way that the line works. That's why there's that weird step rather than like a smooth line. But we don't have to worry about that.
You it's got the most national parks, haven't
you? Who? Wales.
Yorkshire.
I mean, as a county, probably.
Maybe more than Wales has got a couple of big parks. Snowdonia is huge.
Yeah.
But so's the Yorkshire Dales. And we've got the Dales, the Moors, and the Pennines.
I mean, so's the Trossachs.
Yeah, if you put it up as up against the country, fair enough. You put.
Well, I mean, if you give it a council area, I'm pretty sure that you could probably argue that the entire of Argyll and Bute might as well be a national park. But
it's strange, isn't it? Because I mean, we've been through a lot. Well, not a lot of Scotland, but a decent amount of Scotland between us, haven't we?
Yeah, Aberdeenshire has the entirety of the Cairngorms.
Pretty gorgeous. Like we've been bits that aren't technically like when we were coming down from Fort William.
Yeah, that
wasn't technically a national park, however.
No,
and it's stunning.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is it's kind of broken in Scotland because they've had to like up level the tiers, so like the Highlands aren't a national park.
Yeah, I mean the Cairngorms are gorgeous, but Speyside is beautiful.
You've not been up to the actual north of Inverness Highlands with me. But,
Giant's Cherry is not beautiful.
That's only a half mile away.
Half mile away. Are we going to drink some whiskey?
Yeah, I've been sitting with this here for a while.
Yes, describe it to me.
Yeah, nose should be beautifully sweet notes of cream soda, pear drops, fresh green Granny Smith apples. So.
Yeah, there's it's like tinned fruit.
Like a fruit salad, sort of.
Fruit salad and vanilla, I would say.
Like a fruit salad soda float.
Every time you describe something, it sounds very much like a 1970s birthday party.
That's where all the best food was. Just prawns and gelatin.
It's like pineapple on a cocktail stick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then on the palate, wonderful burst of tropical fruits, including mango, pineapple, and cool fresh melon, which leads on to lingering notes of vanilla and creamy caramel. I just had to butt in there before I got out it as being like a 60-year-old man.
Yeah, we're not that old. Like physically, internally, definitely, but not.
It reminds me of childhood parties with trifles and jelly molds full of savoury shit.
Hate trifles.
I can get behind a classic Christmas trifle at Christmas, but that's the only time.
That is a lot more savoury than I expected from the description.
Yeah, I'm not really getting.
It's not peaty, but it's almost got those kind of notes.
I think this is a very peaty. By the way that they say this unpeated Manor-Woods bottling.
Do you know what I mean, though? It's got those kind of. It's very kind of woody, savoury, leathery. I don't get tropical fruit from that at all.
No.
And the alcohol gives it a bit of a spiciness.
Mm-hmm. But it's not in the flavour so much as.
No.
This isn't this. I wouldn't say this was stereotypically Oloroso.
No, it's not got any width to it.
It's interesting.
Considering
the amount of science and expertise that's gone into it.
I think that's a problem.
Yeah.
Whiskey is
art.
Magic, I was going to say, but yes. half science, half magic, art, whatever.
Art
It's
and
like
magic.
circumstance.
Art is magic realized.
True. It's like circumstance. Circumstance do like some really fun and interesting experiments.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think I've ever had one of theirs. It's like more, in my mind, it's more than a 3.5.
No.
And it guts me sometimes. It's like, oh, it'd be really cool if they did, because I like the fact that they're trying pushing boundaries and that. But
yeah, but then look at Glemery, who actually pushed the boundaries, and
yeah, fair. Yeah, if someone was like, you can have a bottle of Glemery or a bottle of Circumstance, like Glemery every time.
Yeah.
You want to score that one?
I was going to say a 3, to be honest.
Yeah, I can go with that. Yeah.
No, it's not no slight. It's not bad whiskey, but for it being a limited edition and
yeah, maybe it just wasn't our type.
Yeah. There's there is an appliness actually in that finish that's coming through now, but yeah.
Yeah, I put a slight hint of fruit, but it was very savoury.
Yeah.
Just not every whiskey is for everybody.
That's true.
But that's not a bad thing.
Again, that is also true. Yeah. I mean, I'm not complaining.
No,
to be honest, if it happened every box that the one that I gave the lowest score to was the 6 Dram, I would not be disappointed, because that means that I got more of the ones I liked more of. So
yeah, you can buy a bottle of it.
The bottle exists to be bought.
Yeah, I'm guessing this one is sold out. Let's have a look. Man of Word. 20. Okay, so you can get it, but it's like £150.
That's quite a lot of money for a whiskey.
You get 6 Glenmorangies.
Yeah, you could get nearly 4 of that Endre Trini that I would much rather have.
Yeah, that Trini was better. Yeah. I think that's everything.
I think so.
Yes, bit of a slow one, but
it's been a while since we did
Christmas.
One, to be fair. Yeah, it's Christmas.
Hey, yeah. It's some Jesus Day anyway. Oh, yeah. Jesus time.
We've both been very busy.
We have been professionals.
And not in the way that we wish we were, which is professional alcoholics.
One day. But as always, thank you for listening.
Yes, and hope to hear from you next time.
Yes.
Like, comment, share, etc.
Yep. Tell your friends. All that good stuff.
Okay.
See you next time.
Cheerio.
Bye.
Bye.